What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Rob Steele.
And C4.
We're coming at you live with another transfer market predictor. Not predictor, I guess. We're reporting. We're reporting, damn it, on the transfers today. And we're taking a look at the biggest ones in the Liga. We actually made this video like a day or two ago, and then...
Re-record.
Yeah, we're re-recording because...
Two big... the first time we did it, because we're doing top 5, and we've already seen, the other videos, kind of this format. The 5 that we had so far, like the first 5 early transfers for the Liga, they weren't shit, but they weren't definitely not as eye-catching as
these
the
ones.
two that came through today. So
Anyways.
I guess at number 5, we're gonna stick with. Okay, we'll just move it down one. Marc-Andre Stegen coming from Mönchengladbach to Bayern, their first big goalkeeper purchase to replace
Barca. You meant Barca.
Barca to replace the combo of Valdez and Pinto that are now gone. Coming over for 12 million. Obviously, when we get to number 4 here, it's going to be odd to see who really wins that. Starting QB. I mean, Madden terms, starting keeper job. Keeper, whatever.
Trying to do this on the quick. I don't know. Ter Stegen, I think is a smart choice. Young goalkeeper, 22, 23 years old, with a high ceiling and a lot of potential to get better. You know, as you guys probably know, goalies don't usually hit their prime until late 20s, early 30s. So
and he was a top 5 keeper in the Bundesliga. So
I mean, even if he comes in and doesn't have the greatest season or two, if Barca sticks with him, which I think they probably will, because he didn't really cost them that much. He has a chance to really. He could start every game right now. He could be the next De Gea coming out of.
There's going to be probably a good training camp battle.
Yeah, sure.
So the number 4 transfer goes hand in hand with that is Claudio Bravo coming from Real Sociedad. Also had an outstanding World Cup for Chile. Now going to Barcelona for 12 million as well. So basically they're getting their 2 goalies shored up. Obviously Bravo was one of the better keepers in the Liga last year. So caught the attention, and obviously with Barca bringing 2 goalies right away, you'd figure Bravo might have the advantage because he is 31, so he's well into his prime, and he has the experience of the league. He's knowledgeable, he knows the system, knows the players.
Yeah, it's one of those times where this is where Barca can't afford to slip up games. They're trying to come back. They're trying to reinvigorate. So covering their bases with a potential prodigy goalie and somebody who's tried and tested, if Ter Stegen flops in his first season or he's having trouble, they can always put Bravo in right away and know that they're going to get somebody that's really solid. And let's be honest, Barca's not they're not a defensive team.
Plus, it's one of those things too. You got to think about it that it's not like when teams middle ranked teams like Tottenham and stuff buy a bunch of players and have a whole bunch of depth because they don't play. Barcelona plays fucking 70 games a year with all the cups and how deep they go. They have deep runs in every single thing. So these guys are both going to get. I wouldn't be surprised if both of them end up with at least 20 games.
Oh yeah, guaranteed. So, whoever's not the primary is still going to play a bunch of games for sure because they're Barcelona.
And moving on to number 3, who was our number 1 yesterday, but in light of recent transfers, he's now slipped to number 3, and that is Ivan Rakitic going from Sevilla to Barcelona for 19 million euros. Last year, 15 goals scored, 10 assists in the Liga. It was regarded as one of the most creative midfielders in the league. It's pretty much, we discussed yesterday, just carrying it over, that he is going to be the replacement for, or at least try to be the replacement for Xavi after Fabregas failed and they shipped him out to Chelsea.
Yeah, I mean, you have to look at money talks and all that. So, I mean, clearly Fabregas is not the heir apparent that they were hoping he was going to be. Rakitic, I think he isn't really either. I think he's a Band-Aid. He's already 26 years old. So to say that he is your permanent replacement for Xavi, by the time Xavi's actually done playing and probably done having a lion's share of the starts, which is probably realistically if Xavi's got maybe 1, maybe 2 seasons left of playing a lot of games for Barcelona. So,
I think he's done. I think he has this 1 year left on his contract, and he's going to Qatar.
Oh yeah, so
but I don't know. There's a chance that it's 2 years, but he's just finishing out his contract then going. But I think it's next year.
Yeah. So whatever. So Xavi is out, but you're still not gonna play Xavi, right?
Exactly.
So by the time Rakitic is quote unquote the man in that position, he's gonna be 27 years old, and that's not exactly a good age for an heir apparent to anybody.
Yeah.
So, but that being said, I think that he'll do well to cover. He's not obviously. I mean, very few players are ever going to be the distribution sort of kings like a Xavi or a Pirlo or whatever. Yeah. But Rakitic is 6'2", You know what I mean? And creative, so I think that he has some size that maybe Xavi didn't have. And I don't know. Well, you could go either way, honestly. I'm not sure if he's going to be a splash or not. So,
all right.
Let's
so we haven't really ranked these two yet because. Well, I mean,
that's clearly the biggest. That's clearly one.
But for this season, you get to get that like 3-month ban. Okay, well, we'll go number 2. Mario Mandzukic, as you know, it's not 100% finalized, but the medical's been passed. The fee has been agreed upon for 22 million euros for Mandzukic to be Diego Costa's replacement at Athletico Madrid. Obviously, Mandzukic was like the focal point of Bayern Munich's offense last year. 23 goals scored, 6 assists. You know, probably arguably the top aerial threat in world football today. I think it's a like for like move. Obviously, he's a little bit older and probably not as athletic. But I will say he's probably where he gives up in athleticism, he makes up for. He has a higher tactical level than positioning than Diego Costa does. And you know, I guess injuries. Mandzukic never really had an injury, and Costa's starting to just show a little wear and tear. Obviously, it's not significant enough to say, oh, Costa's an injury prone guy. But, I mean, it's debatable to say that Mandzukic is coming in.
It'll be interesting to see Mandzukic sort of stepping into that role because
they're
gonna ride him again. Like, they rode Diego Costa so hard last season, man. So it'll be interesting to see if Mandzukic, one of the things you got to do, it's not can Mandzukic score goals. We already know that. It's can he stay healthy for, a workload that's
40.
That's
he's going to be
huge.
required to play, 40 games.
At least. You know what I mean? And big players can't play 90 minutes for that long without having injury concerns. That's just the
clang and bang.
It's just the fact of the way they play. Anyways.
And number 1, coming through, the biter of all bites, Luis Suarez going from Liverpool to Barcelona for £75 million. That's pounds, so don't fucking start trolling the comments. Last year, 33 goals scored, 12 assists. I would actually say, as much as I don't like Liverpool, that was probably the best striking performance I've seen since I've started watching the Premier League, which would have been 2002, 2003. Still because he missed the first 5 games from suspension, he was hurt, and he basically, his offensive production and the amount of time that he played was pretty terrifying.
Yeah. The goals that he scored, I was getting ready to disagree with you and say that Van Nistelrooy, when I was watching, was like a freak.
Van Nistelrooy probably played way more games.
And that's what I was saying. He didn't score the sparkly goals that Suarez was scoring. You know what I mean? He was like a backstick finisher and all that. But yeah, I don't know. What do you want to say about Suarez? Clearly, Uruguay would have went further had they had Suarez in their team in the World Cup.
You got to get some out. I think there's a no-bite clause that's actually a fucking thing in it.
Yeah. I'm glad that Liverpool took Barcelona to the cleaners, and the initial bid was for £55 million, and Liverpool basically told Barcelona to go fuck themselves, and they held out for bigger money, which is something that they're going to need. But Liverpool, without making this too much about the EPL, that's a huge move for Liverpool.
They got a lot of money.
But they are in a part right now where it's you have some young players that are hitting the prime, but
Sterling.
they're in their prime now. Sterling is just about to. But the problem is that you have key old players that are not going to be around for very much longer. So if Liverpool wants to stay at the top, they're going to have to take that money right away and invest in 2 or 3 more players that are going to be promising. So, they were never going to hold on to Suarez. They're not a big enough club. I'm sorry if you guys hate me if you're a Liverpool fan. But it's just a fact. Not a big enough club to hold on to one of the top 3 strikers in the world. They're always going to have to sell him, and I'm glad that they got a ridiculous price for him.
And then in turn, Barcelona is going to fucking probably shatter records for amount of goal scoring when they have. Their front 3 is going to be Neymar,
Messi.
Suarez, and Messi.
They you could argue that they have the top 3
attackers in the
world. Other than, the only other person you put in that thing is Ronaldo. So you literally...
Bale.
Yeah, guaranteed... No, but Bale didn't... he had a great season, but I'd put him in the top 5. I would say,
top 5 players, for goal scorers.
Debatably,
the top... 3 of the top 5.
Yeah, 3 of the top 5 guaranteed.
No matter how you rank them.
That's insane. That's absolutely insane. So yeah, I guess Real Madrid, look out.
Actually, yeah, I'm going to call it right now. Barcelona's winning Champions League. They're going to win every single thing, chemistry or not. It's like one of those things. You have that much firepower. They're not going to miss. They're definitely going to be like, okay, they're just going to have fun scoring against you.
Yeah, I mean, the only reason, Neymar didn't exactly like blow up, but he also had injury concerns when he came in. He played a few months, started to look good, and then had to stop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Be injuries. So I think that if Neymar could stay healthy, my God, man, who do you focus on as a defensive line? What are you like? All right, we got to double team someone, all of them.
Yeah.
We need 6 defenders.
All right, so that wraps up the Liga Transfers. As always, we bring these updates every single week. So make sure you subscribe to Beast Mode TV for more of that. And until next time, guys, it is your boy C4
and Robert Steele
saying peace out.
Like this shit.